Okay. I thought I hit the record button the first time through, but I did not. Oh, today's Wednesday. I'm going to read another report. So, what is this? We'll call it study story time, a little Dharma talk, because I'm going to read another report from my friend and teacher, Peter Vishaka Venkateshwara. Um, and since I just read it, I could tell you that it's about forgiveness, because the first time that I was sharing it with you and thought I was recording it, I thought it was the first time. But it's a good one. It's worth reading twice. So here we go. And as always, whenever I'm doing this story study time and reading his reports, it's in the context of spirituality and Vedic astrology. Here we go. Soul maturity, the courage to forgive and end karmic cycles. Have you ever wondered why certain lessons, relationships, or challenges seem to repeat throughout your life? I like to call them karmic tendencies. Perhaps what you're about to read is one of the simplest and most profound keys to resolving difficult karma. Ironically, it's so simple that the mind often overlooks it. It is the master, the pain body, through forgiveness and equanimity. It is to master the pain body through forgiveness. Forgiveness and equanimity. Wow. The path of least resistance is to let go, let God, and recognize that perhaps every challenge is simply another test of consciousness. If you look at the image that I made, I put dice on the image that can also help us understand that sometimes it's a gamble, sometimes we get lucky. But if we're honest with those, we always get what we need, like what Mick Jagger said. That's cute. You can go to his Facebook page, Peter Vishaka Venkateshwara, to see that image and to receive this report in writing. So, what is karmic maturity of the soul? From the perspective of Vedic philosophy, karmic maturity is not measured by age, intelligence, or even spiritual knowledge. It is reflected in how deeply we've transformed life's lessons into wisdom. As the soul matures, the experiences that once created suffering gradually become compassion, forgiveness, humility, and grace. In Jyotish, or Vedic astrology, the birth chart symbolically reflects this sacred curriculum, revealing the qualities our soul has come to cultivate, not as punishment, but as an opportunity to awaken. Sometimes what could be considered is the most challenging event in our life could also mean that we are in the entrance and the doorway moving towards enlightenment. Across Hinduism, Buddhism, and many of the world's great spiritual traditions, we find similar teaching. Life is not happening to us, it's unfolding for the evolution of our consciousness. Every difficult person, every disappointment, every betrayal, every hardship, may simply be another invitation to awaken. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Perhaps the better question is, what is life inviting me to become? Across the ancient wisdom of karma, every thought, action, intention, and emotional reaction leaves an imprint upon consciousness. In Sanskrit, these impressions are called samskaras, subtle patterns that shape the experiences we attract and the lessons we continue to encounter. When resentment, anger, blame, or unforgiveness remain unresolved, these impressions continue to pull us back towards the same situation until wisdom finally replaces reaction. That's worth reading twice. When resentment, anger, blame, or unforgiveness remain unresolved, these impressions continue to pull us back towards the same situations until wisdom finally replaces reaction. Okay, breath break. Take that in. It's not that life is punishing us. Rather, life compassionately gives us another opportunity to respond differently, again and again, until the lesson becomes love instead of fear. Whoa. I find that so true in my life. Okay, one of the greatest gifts of Jyotish Vedic astrology is that it symbolically reveals the soul's karmic curriculum. Rather than simply predicting events, the birth chart can be understood as a map of the qualities our soul has come here to develop. Every house becomes a classroom, every planet becomes a teacher, every Mahadasha, Antardasha, and planetary transit becomes another chapter in our spiritual evolution. Saturn, Lord Shani, may teach patience, humility, discipline, and responsibility. Rahu may teach through desire, ambition, attachment, illusion, and unfamiliar experiences. Depending upon where these planets are placed in our chart, each of us returns with a unique set of lessons. Two people may experience the same planetary period, yet their journeys will be entirely different because every soul has chosen a different curriculum for growth. Perhaps this is true purpose of astrology, not to tell us what will happen, but to help us understand why life is happening and how we can respond with greater awareness. The planets are not our jailers, they are our teachers, gently revealing where our consciousness is ready to expand. This brings us to one of the greatest signs of soul maturity. Drum roll. Can you forgive? Many people can meditate. Many can recite sacred scriptures. Many can speak beautifully about love, enlightenment, and spirituality. Yet, when life presents us with betrayal, criticism, disappointment, or loss, our true level of consciousness is revealed. Forgiveness does not mean pretending harmful actions were acceptable, nor does it require us to remain in unhealthy relationships and ignore injustice. Sometimes healthy boundaries are the wisest and most compassionate choice. Forgiveness simply means we choose not to allow yesterday's pain to continue governing today's heart. Had to breathe deep on that one too. One of the deepest paradoxes of life is that the person we refuse to forgive may continue living their life while we continue carrying the burden. Unforgiveness becomes another chain binding us to the past. As consciousness matures, something remarkable begins to happen. We gradually realize that every person acts according to their own level of awareness. Many who hurt others are themselves acting from fear, conditioning, ignorance, trauma, or unresolved karma. This does not excuse harmful behavior, but it often explains it. Wisdom softens judgment, and compassion naturally begins to replace blame. Perhaps under different circumstances, we too might have acted unconsciously. That realization changes everything. The greatest sages, saints, and enlightened beings throughout history did not become extraordinary because life treated them kindly. They became extraordinary because they refused to allow suffering to harden their hearts. Rather than creating more karma through hatred and revenge, they transformed suffering into compassion and wisdom. Often, when a soul is closest to a breakthrough, the test can feel the most intense. Just before transformation, the old fear may arise stronger than ever. In the Buddhist tradition, it is said that on the night of Buddha's enlightenment, the forces of illusion appeared before him, yet he remained unmoved and awakened beyond fear. In the same way, when we're invited to forgive, the mind may say, "Don't do it. You will be weak, you will lose, you will get hurt again." But this may be the final illusion. True forgiveness does not make us weak. It can make us fearless because we're no longer controlled by the past. We're no longer bound by the person, the wound, or the story. We become free. This is why forgiveness has always been regarded as one of the highest expressions of spiritual maturity. Anyone can continue a cycle of blame. Only a mature soul has the courage to end it. Sometimes the four most powerful sentences we will ever speak are, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, and I forgive you. These simple words have the power to dissolve years of suffering, heal generations of pain, and release karmic patterns that may have been following us for far longer than we realize. As awareness deepens, we stop asking, why did this happen to me? And we begin asking, what quality is my soul being invited to develop? Perhaps spiritual maturity is not measured by how many spiritual books we've read, how many scriptures we can quote, how many astrology charts we've interpreted, or how many years we've meditated. Perhaps it's measured by something far simpler. How quickly do we return to love? How willing are we to choose compassion over judgment? How often do we forgive instead of seeking revenge? How completely do we trust that every experience, even the painful ones, is helping awaken us to our true nature? For in the end, forgiveness is not merely something we give another person. It may be one of the greatest gifts we ever give to our own soul. So, may we have the wisdom to recognize every challenge as another classroom. May we have the courage to forgive when the heart wants to hold on. May we allow every planetary cycle, every relationship, and every difficult experience to become another step towards greater awareness. And may we eventually discover that the soul was never here simply to accumulate knowledge. On a personal note, he writes, and I'm going to join him in this, because like I said, I already read this once. This is my second time through. So I'm going to join you in this, Vishaka. On a personal note, I forgive everyone and everything that has ever happened to me. All misunderstandings, anger, confusion. I forgive. I forgive everyone in my future and past. So be it. It all came here to be love. The highest victory is not over another person, but over the ignorance within ourselves. Author's note: these teachings and reflection are my own. AI was used only to help edit, organize, and create the images. Yeah, he knows his stuff, of course. He's such a great astrologer. Thank you. In that note, thank you so much for this report, Vishaka. Thank you to all the wise ones who have shown us how this is done. I don't feel to elaborate on this. I just will take it in for the rest of the day and beyond. And may it serve you well. And of course, from my heart to yours, I'm sending you so much love and a big smile and a reminder. Say your prayers. Honor your father and mother, your father's people and your mother's people. And you can bet there's something miraculous here. Just go look in the mirror. You'll see.